the WoW drop campaign has been going on. And like right now, like it's been kind of phased to where everybody was kind of having these drops, and now it's kind of shifted into a more exclusive list. And it's a little bit different from how Square Enix did it. So I didn't know if you want to like kind of just talk about it as a like just kind of, hey, we're warming up and letting people kind of like funnel in, or if we wanted to do like a dedicated topic on it specifically, because I know we covered it when Square Enix did it like over a year ago.
Yeah, so when Square Enix did it, there was a lot of general community frustration. When that community frustration got voiced, the people that participated did the right thing and kind of just kept their mouth shut. That is the correct way to handle that. If you're ever in a situation, if you're standing in a bakery and the baker is explaining to a bunch of customers that they lost their order and your birthday cake comes out and they call you over, just politely grab your birthday cake and leave. Like, it's not your job to throw it on the ground. It's not your job to yell at the baker. Just politely take your cake and leave. And so like, I think that was all handled correctly. But then when other people came out to voice their frustration, there was some mixed replies in that you're just mad because you didn't get in.
Yeah.
And so I think this one's very different. I didn't get in, and some people have stopped by to kind of ask. I'm thrilled with the way the Blizzard has handled this. So it was done in 3 parts. Okay. So first of all, they have a pre-patch. It's been 3 parts so far. I think there might be more coming. I don't think they're done. So it's relentless. It's like New World. Just keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yep. So pre-patch is effectively like a seasonal event married to a Moogle Tombstone event. It's a big, there's a unique fate, there's some unique transmog, just some cosmetics. And it works to kind of speed level you. So if you had any jobs at the end of Endwalker that weren't 90, this would give like it would be like Bozja Zadnor, incredible levels of experience, and you would just skyrocket 80 to 90 on any class. Maybe they would even make it for crafters and gatherers. Who cares? It's just for fun. And we would all be doing this, and it would speed level you at the end of an expansion and give you gear that was like the augmented Tombstone gear. So it would kind of just jump you into that gear that's about to cost poetics. And so it's not really anything that breaks anything. And this would be with like weeks to go. So nobody cares. During this event, they decided to drop a mini pet in game that was previously available through their trading card game that has long since been defunct. And so there are cards circulating that still have codes, but those of course go for well above market value, and are getting rarer and rarer each time one goes out of circulation.
Yeah.
And so that was available to anybody in the directory. Anybody in the directory, just watch 4 hours. All you have to do is watch. Well, and it was 4 hours, love it and leave it. Like, you don't have to do anything.
You could just
AFK. People were like, hey, I went to work today and it says that mine didn't go off. It's like, yeah, our stream ended after an hour. Like, you weren't there. Like, I don't even know if they're getting 4 hours of watch time.
I've heard a lot of people get frustrated at New World specifically. They're like, I don't want to watch some other guy play a video game, because like there's definitely that still side of gaming, right? And I go, here's the best part. Like, you don't have to sit here and watch. There's not a quiz popping up. Like, what did Chris just say? Brian just leveled at this. What was it? Like, it's not, you don't like, we love our lurkers. We absolutely love the lurk. And it's like you said it, you kind of can dip. What do you think? Because I find it kind of just humorous, because like I lurk and unlock a lot of drops, but then I'm just kind of a built-in lurker because I usually lurk while I'm at work. What do you think?
So before I did this for a living, I was in sales. My mother sold supercomputers for 25 years and is now getting her PhD in quantum computing. So I've always had like a very analytical version of sales presented to me. Because when I was a kid, I could help do her expense reports at $1 per expense report. That was like a way of making extra money. Cool. And so in hindsight, like once I started having to do expense reports, I was like, man, if they didn't have apps for these, that's a bargain. Because you had to like staple them all. And they had to be like in a particular order.
Yeah.
And so being in sales, your job is to represent the customer and the company. When you are internal, you are defending your customer. And when you are external, you are defending your company. And you are always bouncing between both.
Yeah.
I think Guild Wars has done the best job of what Twitch drops are supposed to be, because the idea is that they are giving away an item, something digital, doesn't matter, it doesn't cost them anything, but they are taking effort and giving it away for free in trade for engagement. And so the goal is to help market.
Yeah.
Just like an advertiser on YouTube pays a lot less for a skippable ad, and if ads get clicked on, they pay a lot more. They're paying for the engagement. They'll pay a little bit to just have it out in front of people. They'll pay a lot more if people truly engage. So the way Guild Wars did theirs is they did a series of drops, and you had to check in at like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. And so it was like, when you're first here, we'd really like you to be here. Chat a little bit, hang out, maybe actually look at the game. We opened it up to the whole directory so you can find somebody you like. Just try actually looking at the game, because that's why we did this.
Yeah.
And so I think people were like, I just thought they were just wanted to give out free items. No, like they want to sell their game. They want to sell. Well, I already own their game. Then they want you to play it more. Like they want people to be more engaged with their game than they already are. And so that's what they're trying to sell. And that's why, and the rewards stepped up as they went. So I think that was, as far as a singular event goes, Guild Wars knocked it out of the park. Back to Blizzard.
Yeah.
So pre-patch ends. We move into the launch. So we put out the launch, and now there are 2 drops basically running simultaneously.
Okay.
The first is the bigger drop.
Okay.
It is a mount that was tied to that same trading card game. It was currently being retailed at $3,000 to $3,500 for those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's really also interesting about that is that no matter what, there's always been a financial number that people have been aware of, even if they weren't willing to spend it. Imagine, they have the guitar, right? Like Square Enix.
The rarest is the Spectral Tiger. It's like 10 to 20 grand or something.
But like the most expensive thing that I can think of, and maybe I'm not like thinking of the right thing, but I know they have the guitar, like the actual Final Fantasy 14 guitar that also comes, and you have the like in-game, etc. But it's like there's a physical cool item, etc. Yeah. Right. There's like, oh wow, imagine if
a couple thousand.
Right. Imagine all of a sudden it's like, hey, yeah, but not that they're giving away like a physical item, but just like, oh, the only way that you would be able to do this is get that thing. So people automatically have this like, hey, like the naming way, like minion that's a part of the lore book. It's like, oh, hey, we're going to do that. Yeah, I know it was a part of the lore book. Oh, okay, cool. Like I've always wanted that, but I just could never find the book or something like that. Right. So it's like, there's an active number that people associate with, which is really cool.
Now, as far as the rarity, there are 33 mounts in Final Fantasy 14 out of 230 something, 200 something mounts.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 11% of the mounts in Final Fantasy 14 are tied to external transactions. You need to go take participation in a promotion. You need to go spend money on a collector's edition or on the MOG station, or you need to go back and pay for missed seasonal events.
Yeah.
I think like 6 of them are tied to seasonal events. So you could theoretically have gotten those for free, but you can no longer get those for free.
Right.
World of Warcraft, prior to this event, had 61 mounts tied to promotions, such as Final Fantasy's only done 1 mount tied to keeping your extension for 6 months at a time. It's that trike, and they came back at a Moogle Tombstone event. World of Warcraft's done those several times. 61, but it's out of 994 mounts. So it's less than half the percentage of mounts. So this mount is one of those. It reduces that number from 61 to now 60. So 60 of those mounts currently, right now, if you think during the event today, 60 of those mounts out of 994 are like, it's a small percentage.
Yeah.
But one of the frustrations has been that this money has been tied to if you wanted to collect all the mounts. Should there be cost mounts at all? That's a different topic. But basically, the big drop is just watch 4 hours and you get the Feldrake. 4 hours, anybody playing Dragonflight. Go nuts. At the same time, and this one goes a little bit longer, it goes into like December, because there's a monetary component.
Yeah.
If you want to gift subs, they will give you a pet. It's only 2 subs, not 4, like the Fat Black Chocobo campaign was.
Yeah, and Destiny had it where Destiny 2 did it with 2 as well. So
so now that puts that pet in line with the same price as what a pet would cost on their store. Pets are typically about $10 in these games. It is the only way to get that pet.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just going to pass on the pet if I don't have $10. It's not a big deal. And the way they invited people was they sent opt-in to your Twitch dashboard. We did not get an opt-in opportunity. And allegedly, I don't have any like back-end proof on this, that request was sent out to over 4,000 channels. There were people on there who streamed to 0 viewers, So I think what they did is they looked for anybody with basically either, I don't know if they looked at like beta access and a Twitch connection to your battle.net and just sent it out to everybody that had access to the beta. It seems like they did do some manual ones. So I believe like Pint and Lamatod and stuff. Yeah. That seems very intentional. It's very fortunate for them if they just happen to grab them. As far as growth vertical, those are people that are exposing the game to people that are like, I don't want to watch this, but I'll watch you. Well, that's good marketing.
Yeah.
Like, give those people some mounts. Who cares? So, and then anybody that streams in the WoW directory. We don't stream in the WoW directory. And people are like, but I watched you play WoW. No. The way Twitch stats works is Twitch stats. When I go look at our Twitch stats page, some of these websites, so I don't know how they're getting their information, it will categorize our entire stream based on the game that we start with. My favorite way to start a day of playing multiple MMOs is to knock out a hunt train in Final Fantasy XIV, which means in a 5-day variety MMO week, according to our Twitch analytics, some of these websites categorize me as 5 days of exclusively 40 hours of Final Fantasy XIV, which means I am not a World of Warcraft streamer.
Right. I've also
so
been
I would
wondering
not show up
that
on their list.
Well, because we've because we do multiple games, we always have. That's a big part of what we've always kind of established. And when you go look at our Twitch, like just homepage, it's got, I played Embers for a little bit. So it registered Embers Adrift as a game that hey, this is one of the games that we're playing. But I didn't open up in Embers. And one of the things when it comes to streams charts, I guess I couldn't get stream charts, but streams charts is it rates us. And so one of the things when we've ranked, we rarely rank in anything like World of Warcraft or even New World. And one of the things is when you go look, it's like, the numbers that it actually, when you drill in to us, our numbers are in a ranking within that. But I guess that makes sense that if you didn't start in that directory, maybe that's how and
maybe internally they have better stats.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't know how Blizzard contacts them with the list. If Blizzard goes through a marketing agency, does that marketing agency pay Twitch for access to those better analytics, or do they just go use the Twitch stats page? But if you go to the Battle.net page, it's been updated with all the live channels, and it's massive. Annie Fuchsia is on the list as somebody that was part of the Fat Black Chocobo campaign. She's actually going and picking people that are 0 viewer, 2 viewer. I've been told she's going through and picking small people off that list and telling people, hey guys, it's a really cool event that they did this.
Yeah.
Go gift your 2 subs over there. Go gift your 2. We're all going to go gift 2 subs over here. Then we're all going to go and just go.
That's nice. That's really nice.
And so that's, just go spread that. And so the idea that they would spread that to people who are streaming to 0 viewers, which at that point, if your camera breaks or something like that, you're like, do I just give up? I've already put money into this and I'm not getting anything back. And I'm trying and it's so hard because Twitch is a non-discoverable platform. They're getting better. They've gotten a lot better.
Dude, but there's still a human aspect to it. When I sit down, it's if we go to a place, we're just standing in the middle of a street and we see 1,000 people over here and what's going on? And you see 50 people over on the right side. We might end up on the right side, but we're going to go pop in and see what's going on at the 1,000. What's going on here?
If you type in how to fix your microwave and there's a video with 74,000 views and there's a video with 500 views, you're going to go, 500 view doesn't know what he's talking about. 500 view invented that microwave. It doesn't matter. And so I think it's really good. I think it's really awesome. They've just handled it well across the board. So when we talk about ways to change, Twitch events is something that I think these Twitch drop events are something that marketing companies and games are getting better at. Because one of the biggest differences between the Fat Black Chocobo event and now is that a lot of time has passed. And so I think, Square Enix did another one. They'd probably be better. They had a FanFest event that was not co-streamable because of one section. And next time they did something like that, they said, okay, we're going to break it apart and we're going to isolate the section you can't co-stream. Reasonable. And so I think that was really good. I don't know. I'm really happy with it. I think that Blizzard's really stepped up here and learned from how everybody else has handled this. And I think it's awesome.